Thank you. Oscar Acoustics are now in their 44th year. We specialise in spray-applied architectural acoustic finishes. New research shows that 1 million employees in Great Britain are now exposed to levels of noise which put their hearing at risk, whilst 14,000 are estimated to have work-related hearing problems. Current regulations stipulate that 87 decibels is the maximum level of noise that workers should be exposed to. When put into context, even the dialing tone of a phone is 80 decibels. The issue is systemic, and we know from our own research that many managerial workers are in the dark when it comes to their responsibility around the Noise at Work Act. Over a third were unaware, 35%, and just 38% knew roughly about the correct rules and guidelines. The role of acoustics in architecture is not just about achieving optimum levels of sound. With the right acoustic solutions in place, it can enhance the way people interact with each other and the space around them. I'll give you a great example. After spraying a multi-purpose school sports and dining hall, the teacher, delighted with the results, reported that they'd actually been throwing away less food after lunch. It seems that the hall was such an unpleasant place to be. The kids were leaving food to go and play. The introduction of our acoustic spray gave them a relaxing, comfortable place to interact with their friends whilst eating. This in turn had an impact on their social development. Adults are not as different as we think. In the workplace, quality acoustics can boost health and wellness by creating calm, peaceful ambience where occupants can enjoy working or socializing. But this can easily go the other way if no attention is paid to the acoustics of a space. Often workplaces are jam-packed with hard surfaces which allow sound to bounce, rising to dangerous levels if unchecked. A great example of this I like to use is a restaurant. This too is packed with hard surfaces and could have a reverberation time of 3 seconds. You're at a table chatting with your friends and you say the word cat. That word would bounce around the room for 3 seconds until it decayed by 60 decibels. Within that space, you continue talking and say between 7 to 10 more words. Now, all those words are bouncing around the room, becoming tangled and hitting you from all angles, which makes it hard for you to understand what's being said. And this is happening on multiple tables, creating a sonic battleground. So what do? You talk louder. This, of course, increases the volume within the space and makes it even harder to understand. The restaurant's now getting busier, the issue's getting worse. People are leaning towards the center of the table to understand their friends. The alcohol is now kicking in and the place is getting crazy. Nobody's noticed that there's music playing, but this all along has been adding to the problem. In the taxi on the way home, some people are leaving a review on TripAdvisor about the noise levels, and 25%, according to research, will never return, meaning the restaurant is constantly having to attract new customers to stay in business. And here's the point. You choose not to return as the experience was unpleasant and carried a level of stress you were unprepared to pay for again. But if this is your workplace, what do? With financial pressures and a family to feed, it's not always that easy to go and find another job. Okay, restaurants are an extreme case, but it demonstrates the point perfectly. High levels of poor quality sound are stressful and make people unhappy. Sometimes they don't even realize why they feel like this. They just dread going to work. An employee like this is not productive and can even become toxic. What most employers don't realize is that prolonged high noise levels can actually cause serious non-hearing related health problems. The chief medical officer in England pre-COVID said that it is second only to air pollution in damaging public health, while the World Health Organization, WHO, highlights such issues as tinnitus, sleep disturbance, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, adverse birth outcomes, and cognitive impairment in children. In order to better understand the situation, Oscar Acoustics has commissioned a new workplace survey of 2,000 office workers and bosses from across the UK, and the results are now back. I'm going to give you a sneak preview into some of the findings, with the full white paper available for you to download from our website. The white paper goes actually into much more detail about what the bosses think as well. Very interesting. Respondents came from organisations of all sizes, with half from larger employers and the remainder from SMEs. The survey was conducted via OnePoll. So over half of those surveyed reported their offices were noisy. A quarter of workers say they're stressed. 89% of millennials expect their employers to be proactive around environmental responsibilities in the workplace. 1 in 7 reporters reported hearing loss. The sounds most likely to stop people from working effectively are colleagues talking to each other, 38%, and other people on calls, 34%. Colleagues eating, 21%, co-workers singing, humming, 19%, and a similar number are troubled by others' body sounds, e.g. scratching, let's say. 4 in 10 office workers said poor acoustics were impacting their concentration, and a third said their mood was negatively affected, with a quarter reporting stress induced by exceptionally high noise levels. It's well known that a happy team drives up results, yet too much noise is fraying office relationships, with workers reporting snapping at colleagues, 17%, their bosses, 12%, raising grievances, 16%, and leaving passive-aggressive notes, 11%. 1 in 10 office workers have resorted to physical violence due to noise-related issues in the workplace. That's pretty bad until you hear that this reduces to just 1 in 5 of the Gen Z demographic. Thankfully, most workers are resisting the temptation of taking extreme measures, trying to avoid the din by working from home, 21%, moving desks, 17%, or wearing headphones, 23%. A study by Microsoft estimated 40% of the global workforce were considering leaving their employer in 2021. That's huge. So it's all the more important to create a working environment that people enjoy. We recently worked on a great JLL project in Canary Wharf made up of office space, meeting rooms, and breakout spaces. Oscar Acoustics applied 25mm of Sonospray K13 Special in white directly onto the profile metal deck, achieving a Class A absorption. Sonospray is the only acoustic product allowed within 50mm of intumescent steel coatings without invalidating their fire rating. Our detail combined with superb fire performance enabled us to spray right up to them, omitting the requirement for expensive and unsightly stop beads, which can also add a lot of time to the program. JLL agreed a lease with landlord Canary Wharf Group, which included for the first time on the Canary Wharf estate a legally binding green lease clause. Both JLL and CWG worked in partnership to improve sustainability performance and deliver exemplar certifications with BREEAM, WELL and SCAR. Angela O'Donnell of UK Real Estate and Workplace Director at JLL said, "Teams from across the breadth of JLL, including our design and build company Tetris, have come together to deliver a space that incorporates sustainability, technology and well-being, as well as inclusivity that not only aligns our business needs, but fosters community engagement." The green lease clause means that renewable energy will be procured for the building, ensure it's energy efficient, but minimize waste and maximize recycling. Made from Class O fire rated recycled paper, Sonospray not only contributes to BREEAM, LEED, WELL and SCAR, it's also classified as a low emitting building material, achieving M1 certification, which is the lowest you can get for a building material, compliant with the California Department of Public Health, achieves Green Guard Gold for air quality, BREEAM's rating for air quality. It has EPDs in accordance with ISO 14025 and also LEED's version as well. All installations are carried out by our fully trained in-house teams. That's important because our teams do nothing else. They're doing this day in, day out, instead of maybe being a company that does other stuff, but then has a go at a job every now and again. So they are experts. And to complete the environmental jigsaw, Oscar Acoustics are now ISO 14001 certified. In fact, we're now in our third year. Due to the popularity of the product, we've hugely outgrown our current premises and are about to start building our new 16,000 square foot Oscar Innovation Centre. This comprises of a large warehouse and product development facility cloaked by a brick facade, which hides the warehouse from the road and the houses opposite. The long building is 6 separate double height industrial units, some of which will initially be let to local innovative companies on short-term lets. This will give Oscar Acoustics room for further growth as required. The scheme has been designed with urban and rural architects and has been welcomed by the local community, receiving no opposition at all, including all the houses over the road, which we're quite chuffed with. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this today, as I'm going to save the whole project for a future presentation on completion, but it's extremely exciting for us. The plan is to create a great space to work, having learned from all these great projects we've worked on over the years, whilst fulfilling our storage and logistics needs. Extra space will also enable us to carry a lot more stock, reducing lead times further still for our customers. In order to aid collaboration, the space is to be open plan with bifolding partitions for private meetings and, of course, presenting webinars as well. It's also been designed as a show home for all our acoustic products and our razor edge trim as well. So please do let us know if you'd like to visit once built. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Please do follow us on social media channels and send me a LinkedIn invite to see all our projects, and also download our latest white paper on the acoustic treatment in the workplace. It really is very interesting. I'm Ben Hancock. Hope you found it informative. Thank you.